Yo, what's up, guys? Sports Summer, and today, man. Wait, let me check. Mic check. Okay, we alright today. So, yeah, we chilling. So today, we reacted to the third part of the Portland State University slash University of Oregon. So let's get it. One second, yo. Okay, so yeah, let's get it to the video. Let's get it.
People like to hear themselves. So people want to hear, your guys' discussions because they're like, oh, I want to be confirmed in my opinion. Even if I don't have backing or evidence against my decision or my policy, I'm still not going to talk to you guys. I don't want to be proven wrong.
Kids aren't getting puberty blockers? What is not happening that
I'm not putting myself on this platform. You guys are idiot losers.
Well,
Goodbye.
you just put yourself on.
You're the one
Damn.
inserting yourself into the platform.
Is that the best argument you can marshal?
What's going on, everyone? James Klug here today, and we're going to be attempting to students about children consent to you here by the amazing Billis and Peter Bogosian. Gentlemen, are you guys ready to go talk to some people?
Ready to rock it. Let's do it.
Never been more ready.
Let's go talk to some people.
Okay.
Huge shout out to our friends over at Tej Hanley for sponsoring this video. Is this that controversial of a thing to say? That children, 10-year-olds cannot, yeah.
It's that basic.
I just don't necessarily agree with that.
No, I don't even know what that means.
You don't even know what that means.
You can think what you think. They can think what you. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
What?
Incredibly reasonable position to have when it comes to people having different opinions.
I
Okay.
agree with that.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
That we shouldn't do that to kids, or we
I
should.
think that you shouldn't be with your body like that
Yeah.
until you're an adult.
Yeah, it's true.
That seems like a pretty fair stance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
I mean, I feel like denying
Good stuff.
trans people life-saving care is a kind of rude thing to do.
Life-saving care?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so denying trans people their life-saving care is a rude thing to do.
Life saving? Life saving is crazy.
Do you think it saves lives to stop their bodies from going through puberty?
I think it does
How come?
How?
because there's studies showing that like people who transition, who are pre-transitioning. How do I explain this?
It's okay. Take your time. No pressure.
Hey, what's up?
Children cannot consent to puberty blockers. Well, why do you think they can't?
Well, because they're 10 years old. I mean, they still believe in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy, and we're giving them an experimental drug which has never been.
Quick question. Just for reference. Is it me or drawing the @ sign is the hardest thing you can ever draw? Like legitimately. Like that. I'm trying to like sign these papers real quick. But drawing the @ sign is one of the hardest things you can possibly do. I might even need to pull up an image. Okay. Is it gonna show it on the screen here if I switch over? No, it isn't. So it's an A. And it goes like all around. Yeah, the @ sign is like one of the most hard thing to draw. I know it's like off topic, but I'm just trying to get this done real quick.
Approved for this per drug cancer, for endometriosis in women. Same drug has been given to pedophiles to chemically castrate them because they get their testosterone to zero. They give them a drug. It's normally a drug called Lupron, and it stops their bodies from going into puberty. So girls' breasts won't grow, their hips don't get wider, boys' penises don't grow. It affects their bone density. It affects all sorts of things. But we're stopping the physical development of children based on what? Based on a belief that because they don't conform to society's standards of how they should stereotypically be according to their sex, that this therefore means that they are born the wrong. What does that even mean?
Well, it just has to do with your identity and who you are.
What the does that even mean? Like this whole, and this is why I don't understand trans. Cause like, bro, like if you do stuff out the norm from the stereotypes of your gender, like you do some feminine things, and you're a man, or you do some masculine things and you're a woman, you're still a woman. You're still a man. You were born in that body. So why change it? Why do all this stuff? Do all this extra stuff when you could just, like I said in the first part, accept that you do those stuff, embrace it, or look at it as a phase in your life, and it will eventually pass over.
You know, this will like part stands for.
Yeah.
There's a answer to that.
I think sometimes depends. We're all living our own separate life.
The guy's 10 years old.
I don't know. It's such everything is kind of controversial nowadays, so it's like it's hard to talk about things.
What does it mean?
Yeah,
Be who you are?
true. It is hard to talk about things. Like, kind of happy now that like not a lot of people is watching my stream live, because like I think I got like some sort of like comment and laugh. The first episode talk about like like time like dissing me and stuff, but it's like I don't care. But it's like, yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about certain topics. Definitely.
You be what you want to be. Be what your identity tells you to do. Do what your mind wants to
I mean,
be.
you know, and I think a lot of people would understand that if you were talking.
Also, you can resist temptations. Like, you can resist temptations. Like, there's some things that the mind might come up with that are like temptations that might not be like in like the right morals and stuff, that might be in your type of body, like some like acting out or being out of character. It's like it could be temptations, it could be results of trauma. So if you feel that way, then you gotta get like mentally checked up, because your mind might be a little bit messed up.
Talking about adults, you are talking about children here. Children can't just go out and get
Yeah.
tattoos. They can't go drink. They can't go,
No.
you know, hook up with an older adult. There's all, they can't even go see rated R movies. But we're talking about irreversible procedures that they can do.
They're sterilizing kids. They're
So
cutting
aren't
off
there,
the body
aren't there
parts of
rules for children?
Well, yeah, I would say that there are definitely rules that for sure.
Okay, so we got that going.
Yeah,
Like these kids, for the boys, particular, the president of World Health, who write this, the
Is so what you just say, basically in the more broader and long-term effects, these people, these boys cannot like cannot produce a baby, basically cannot help produce a baby, because if you had to talk, you had to talk, like if you know, you know, We'll keep it kind of clean, but certain things happen. Sir, the substance goes into a certain area, and a certain area in the body from from man to woman, and that helps produce gets the person gets the woman pregnant, which will lead to producing a child. So like so basically that can happen if a person went on puberty blockers because they will lose the ability to read to help reproduce and make a child. So why? Why? It's despicable. This whole trans stuff in general is despicable. Cause you like all this stuff, you can't have children, you can't make children, can't have children. You lost all reproductive stuff you can do, and now you trying to defend that stuff. You trying to be all wacko and stuff because you made a bad decision. You made a decision that was honestly, probably off of temptations and mental disorders. Don't be mad at the game. Don't be mad at the person who's trying to help people not make that same mistake. Don't be mad at them. Be mad at yourself for making that decision.
And call it love. And from all the academic studies that have ever been done with this condition called gender dysphoria, that's what this is called, when these kids feel a mismatch between their sex and their gender identity, dysphoria. We know historically that if you just let kids go through puberty, more than 80% of the time they just grow out of it. They don't even know what sex is. How can they growing exercising themselves to not family?
I know.
10.
Saying that.
Yeah.
Your thoughts about what he's saying?
Young.
You know, excuse my language,
Mhm.
but I actually think it's crazy. I didn't know any about this. I didn't know
Mhm.
anything about it. It just came out
Yeah.
the way right now, the way everything is happening. I just think it's kind of crazy because a lot of things happen in this world that just don't make sense. But I've never.
I'm gonna like it's crazy how this stuff is legal for kids. It's legal for kids. While other stuff like drugs, alcohol, and certain movies are banned from people under the age of 18. Weapons, all that stuff. 18. I think it's what 21? 21 for um for drinking and smoking. And I think even and then it's like 18 to get a gun license. Like stuff like that. So all that stuff ain't they're not even like deciding like, oh, we should put a limit on this. Do not involve the kids. Keep the kids out of this.
Never heard too much of this until right now.
All right, everyone, let's take a few moments to talk about today's sponsor.
Don't care.
Deal just description
The same human being.
today. Let's jump back into the video.
What's going on? Would you like to participate?
Are you having a conversation with him agreeing?
No,
Oh, yeah.
he agrees, of course, because he's a sane human being.
Okay. Just to give you a heads up.
So she's come here to tell you that you shouldn't talk to me because what's going on in America today is illiberal people like this woman here think that you shouldn't be allowed to have a conversation about child harm. So she's come here to tell you to make sure that you're feeling safe. She thinks she doesn't even believe that you can possibly agree that we shouldn't be mutilating children because she thinks it's totally fine to mutilate and sterilize children. And she's come here to tell you that you shouldn't be talking to me because I'm spreading.
Oh, are you actually trying to shut down the conversation?
I was just going to say that oftentimes when organizations have cameras, they usually edit videos in a way that it may not be favorable to you.
So it is true.
So it is true. You're coming over here to shut down conversation.
Yeah, it is true. So why don't you just be honest and say it's true?
Oh, I just don't want to contribute money to an organization that profits off of social media engagement.
Oh, I'm not an organization. I'm just a person having conversations.
I would argue what's happening here is much more important than being a more authoritarian stance of shutting down conversation on a place that actually open dialogue should be encouraged. So I would say what you're doing here is much worse than having a conversation in public. It's incredibly dishonest.
We don't want him to talk to people.
Yeah. If you disagree with this, you can let us know, and you can join the conversation, or you can let somebody else actually exercise their freedom of speech.
How would you define open dialogue?
Open dialogue is allowing you to speak your mind. If you want to give us your opinion on this and have a conversation with us, that's excellent. And we're going to have a respectful conversation, no personal attacks, and definitely no shutting down of somebody else's voice,
and
especially interrupting him to shut down the conversation.
Do you think we should be sterilizing kids though? What about kids with autism? Because half these kids have autism who don't.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, true with the autism stuff.
It's hard because.
What is hard about that question?
It's hard about
well, yeah. If
I think it's
and there's
hard.
no tricks here. Like, what is hard about what he's saying there?
I think the hard thing is trying to explain it and explain it in a way that people won't get offended or won't, because like even if the cameras weren't on, you're still in like a public area. Like who knows what that school environment might be? Because what we found on the last reaction video, Portland State is like toxic. Like toxic. Like they won't let you speak your opinions unless it's their, like unless if it's like something that they agree with, like school I agree with. And like the threat of like losing a scholarship, so you don't know who, like I didn't know that Portland State had that type of toxicity into the second episode. So who knows what the University of Oregon is like, and their culture, and their willingness to let people speak their mind.
Let's say a 12-year-old.
12. I mean, they're children, so I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to put a number on what you could do. You know? Okay. Because
putting like a age limit is going to be kind of hard, because it's like at some points it's like 25. Like the average, for the full brain to develop is like 25, but some people are still be immature at some ages, but that might just be there. So it's like it's kind of hard to put age limit. So I kind of see, and it's also like you're kind of like not like pressured, but like it's kind of like you're like it's a hard topic to talk about. Like it's definitely a hard topic. Like it's a hard topic to talk about, and to not just like full out and try to like piece your words together in a way that is like not offending.
18.
That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, 18. You're an adult.
Yeah, they start kids on puberty blockers at like 10, 11, 12.
There are studies showing that children who are unable to transition, and keep in mind, most of the time they're not being given hormones at 13. They're given puberty blockers to stop them from going through what they feel is the wrong puberty. Okay. And their experience it. I don't want to have this conversation.
No. You're on to something. You want him to take it, or?
I mean, I'm gonna be late to class.
That you can come here and tell people not to talk. You don't find that to be a problem.
Did I say you couldn't talk?
No, but think about what you said and how dishonest it was.
I didn't say that exact thing. I was just trying to shut down the
I
conversation.
feel like I asked a question.
Nah, it was a disingenuous,
Yeah, it was
looking
just
to
an
shut down
and you went
conversation and get him
over the
away
hand.
from
Now,
having a
but if you
conversation.
want to talk about that, we will
It's actually what
engage
you're
you
doing.
in good
I'm sorry
faith.
that you feel that way.
No,
It's not about anybody feeling it. That's what you're doing.
So I wanted to ask you, are you comfortable if I ask you about your dissertation work? That's not a rhetorical question. That's a serious question.
I'm gonna move away from this. You can entertain her if you'd like.
The body positive message we should be sending is that there's no right way to be a boy or a girl.
That's facts. That's legitimately facts. Like, legitimately facts. Like, that's where we should be at. We shouldn't be trying to switch people's genders because they are different than the stereotype. No, we should encourage people to not try to fall into that stereotype and to move away from that stereotype. Like, we should be trying to move away from that stereotype, not trying to change to get away from a stereotype. Move away naturally, move away in a way that everyone is good.
Right?
Yeah, I
everyone
can
gets that.
understand
So can we possibly get you to jump on over to saying that this should be something for when your brain is a little bit more developed? Your prefrontal cortex, your decision-making part of your brain is more developed instead of 10 years old?
I just think it's a hard thing for me to say because I'm not part of that
Okay.
situation. I do think like I'm all for the rights of transgender people, and no matter what you are.
We're all for the rights of
I
everybody.
I understand that like 10 years
everybody
old can
deserves
be a little
rights.
young, and maybe you should have more of a developed brain.
I think with situations as serious as, medical, drugs, hormones, procedures on children, we should be able to have conversations about this. Just calm, fact-based, rational conversations, because there's nothing more important than our kids. So if you want to take some time to think about it and come back, you'd be more than welcome. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Is that cool?
I mean, like, as I speak from personal experience, I'm trans.
Okay.
I'm
No.
transmasculine. Most people wouldn't think it looking at me. I've been on testosterone for 5 months as of Saturday. I feel so much happier with myself.
So
I feel
what the okay, so she's trans. So she's a biological woman who has switched to a man. Right? Right? Damn, you just lost a bunch of privileges. Damn. Looks like damn. Like you look nowhere like a man. Like everything above the eyebrow, like the hair, everything outside the hairstyle, is telling me you're a woman. Like damn. Like what did you say? 5 months? Damn. Feel bad for you. Kind of mentally messed up. But like we talk about like children here, like I don't think a lot of these people who are like disagreeing might not be understanding that it's children though. Like it's children, young people, under 18. So their brains are not fully developed. So it's like they're not gonna know, especially at young age, like young, like 10, 11 years old. They're not gonna know. They're not even gonna. They probably ain't gonna have the talk until a few years later. I think I had the talk at like 5th grade, but I probably did not remember most of it. So really, it was like 2020 when I knew like 2020. And then like having health class freshman year. That's when I like really. Huh? Okay, lock the door. Like health class. That's when I knew like, oh, this is how children are born and stuff. Like that's how like children are born. That's like age 13, 14. These kids that you're talking about are like 10, 11 years old that are getting it. So they're not going to know, like, they're not even going to know, like, sexuality. Like, they might know this is a boy and this is a girl. They're going to know that, but it's like, they're not going to know the repercussions of all this. And not a lot of people are going to know because they're not into that field. So they're not going to know the benefit, like the minimum benefits and the whole lot of I don't think there's any benefits to this. Like, there's no benefits. Like where's the benefits? Like some little juice of joy because you decide to switch to the other side when you really could just stay the way you are, or just stay the same gender and just like not go along with the stereotype. Like that's how I see it.
And I started shortly after. I'm about to turn 19.
Okay.
I started December of last year.
Okay.
But I knew I didn't start hormones until I was an adult. But I knew that I was not a cis woman by the time I was in middle school.
May I ask what?
Okay, that doesn't mean absolutely nothing. Like, okay, you don't follow the norm. You don't follow the norm of a girl. Okay, there's a thing called a tomboy. Tomgirl, what was it? Tomboy, right? Let me see. A tomboy. I think it's tomboy or something like that. Like, there's a tomboy, so it's like, you could be that. You can be that. Like there's no real right or way. There shouldn't be a right or a wrong way to be a male or a female. There really isn't. So what was it? Tom what right? Tom, yeah, so it's a tomboy. You could be a tomboy and no one would care because like, oh, she's a tomboy. She a little different. She like you could be a tomboy and don't and still be a gen it still be a biological woman. Like, okay, you can be a tomboy and still be a girl. But you don't have to change your gender because of all of these. You don't have to change your gender. You just gotta embrace it. You just gotta know, like, okay, I'm a tomboy. I'm a tomboy. I don't really care. Here, I'm a tomboy. I accept that I'm a tomboy. I embrace it. Eh, If you make fun of me, I'm going to not let it get to my head because as I embrace it, I'm not insecure about it. I'm not worried that people are going to judge me.
To know that you're not a cis woman. I understand the jargon, but what does it mean to know that you?
Okay.
And you know, I think in the recent years there's been a lot more ability to verbalize that kind of stuff. I mean, when I was in middle school,
you can tell people like, oh, I don't really mess with that femininity stuff. Like I don't really do that femininity stuff. Like I'm more like a tomboy. See, you see what I'm repeating? Tomboy. You can be a tomboy and not be trans.
school, that was 2016 me. We weren't having all these sorts of conversations.
Obvious.
My partner is not trans, but they're
Non-binary.
non-binary,
Okay.
and so they thought about going to cancel out some phase. Back in middle school, they were having the thoughts of more dressing more masculine and stuff. So what
Okay.
if they wanted to get on? Their parents aren't very good parents. They kicked them out the house
Damn.
and left them on the street. So what? How about that? What if the parents aren't involved in their
Oh
own
shit.
life?
But like, still, like, still, like, it should be by law that if like, I don't know, like, that's a situation. Like, I don't know who if like to be honest, like that's a like those are bad parents, yes. But I don't think going on to going on the puberty blockers would do anything. Like more or less, you need therapy. Like you're going to need like counseling and stuff because you obviously been traumatized. Like you got kicked out of your house by your parents and were probably living on the streets. Probably living on the streets for a minute, or at least were like without a home for a little bit, and then like had to go and live a new lifestyle with people that are not your parents, and obviously it's different living with people that are supposed to be your parents but they're not, and you knew your parents and you like know them and you know them like and you still call them like mother and father, like it's tough, but I don't think that will result like puberty blocker percent like what these people probably need is like mental health, counseling, therapy, stuff like that. Like we going all these different ways, going the extra mile, doing all this extra stuff. It's not gonna fix nothing. It might even make it worse. So
So I'm very brought up.
Yeah.
Because what we
No.
almost invariably
Great question.
is that these kids have suffered trauma,
yes,
and that's trauma.
trauma.
And so your partner should have been treated, and I hope they are still maybe getting treated for
Yes.
this trauma.
Yes. Just like I said.
But what happens in so many these traumatized or abused children are just getting puberty blocking drugs, cross-sex hormones, as though that's the source of their problem.
No, it isn't. And it's not a solution either. Like it's not a solution. It's not a way to fix their problems. It's not even a good band-aid. It's not even a good band-aid. Cause what benefits are you getting? What type of benefits are you really getting from that? From puberty blockers, hormones, transitions, all that stuff. What what type of benefits are you going to get? There's no benefits. I just don't see any benefits from this.
Not the trauma. Gonna do
If it's a bad choice later in life, they would understand and maybe change back. I know that it would.
I don't know. It's something that's not reversible. it's something that's hard to reverse. Like puberty blockers across hormones, like it's like yeah, I don't think it's like it's not fully reversible. Like you're still kind of messed up.
Would there be some consequences with like?
What do you think the consequences would be?
Yeah.
You know, if they decide if they're not non-binary but they want to be transgender and they have to go through further evaluation to see if they want to be, you know, go through a
Like
process.
physical though consequences.
Yeah,
like
physical
what
consequences.
So historically, most kids with gender dysphoria, which is how we should always frame this, most of them grow up and out of it.
Yeah.
The cure for
Yeah.
gender dysphoria in almost all cases is puberty itself. Now we've blocked the cure. So I don't think children are mature enough, cognitively developed enough. Our prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain responsible for logical decision making, keeps developing until we're about 25.
Yeah.
So I don't think a 12, 13, 15-year-old is competent to make decisions about their own sterilization, about destroying their future adult sexual function, because that happens to the boys, especially.
Do
To
you
not being able
think-
to have a family.
But what about
Do you really quick?
Yeah.
Do you think that they're capable of making that decision that he's talking about
That's
right
just
there?
their decision. It's just their decision. I don't think they're you know, there can
So-
always be doubt.
So
There can
children
always be-
just make the decision about what else do they make the decision?
You
about?
don't let them take
They can't-
drugs, right?
No, but they can. They can if they would like to.
In Oregon right now, they're about to pass a law.
That's a bad parent right there. Basically like encouraging like the kid to like, oh, if you want to smoke hook vapes or smoke cigarettes, oh, you can do that if you want to. Bad parent. Man, you are going to be a horrible parent. The way you're going, you're not going to be a good parent if you don't switch up, cuz I'm going to be honest with you.
15-year-old can get gender surgery even without parental approval.
Yeah.
Should it be that easy?
Well,
just with what he's saying right there. Should it be
Yeah.
that easy?
I'm not sure if it should be that easy,
No.
but I do think ultimately
I think the surgery should be banned. Definitely, that should be banned. Surgery should be banned. The puberty blockers should be banned. Actually, the whole thing should be banned. I'm being so serious. It probably should be banned.
it should be up to the child.
Is that do you hold that viewpoint for every other aspect of childhood when it comes to
I wouldn't
tattoos?
say that.
Why would you not say that? With like, let's say tattoos, would you say?
I don't know. I guess it's just I had to think about that.
Okay, that's okay.
That's a
That's
fair
very-
statement.
that's very reasonable. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, we don't want to put you on the spot here. You know, we're talking about new concepts and new information, so it's just great to have an open mind to think about this.
Yeah.
And really, what we want to achieve here is to start conversation.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all
That's why you're at least saying, hey,
You're thinking.
absolutely okay.
if I may overshare, I have someone in my family who's
Jump
young,
in.
who has a tattoo, who tattooed herself. You know, I don't know what they call it, the prison tat kind of thing.
Stick and
Oh,
poke.
fuck.
Stick and poke. Yeah, that's what it is. And she,
Like actual like real tattoos that won't come off. They did it themselves. That's literally like setting them up for failure. Cause like you mess up once, like it's like with haircuts, easy. It's like it's easy to mess up. It's easy to mess up. Like there's a lot of things that you can do that's easy to mess up by yourself than with another person. Especially like a barber, he's trained in it. He's probably cut a lot of people. A tattoo artist, he's probably tattooed a lot of people. He probably knows what to do, how to do it without making it painful.
she regretting that. She regrets having, and you make that conscious, they may regret other decisions that they've had.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
as you
true.
get older, that becomes quite different because your brain, your frontal lobe is formed, and decision making process ideally would be more refined.
Did you thought something he was saying was funny? Do you mind if I ask you? And I'll get back to you.
The
okay?
tattoo, like like him relating the tattoo to like the gender stuff. That was, I don't know, that was kind of funny because
Why was that funny?
because it's a yeah, it's a tattoo, it lasts forever. Like we all have, but like how you gonna compare a tattoo to like puberty?
It's a thing that's unreversible. Tattoos is very hard. Is basically impossible to get off unless you have to pay a lot of money to have it. And I don't know what the uh what the consequences of like trying to get your tattoo removed is. And especially if it's like tattoos that are like and like the one thing tattoos have over everyone is if you messed up on a tattoo or it's a tattoo you want, you can legitimately like cover it up with like other tattoos, long sleeves, wristbands. Not really wristbands. Let's um wristbands if it's small enough, watches, watches, what is it? Like little armband things, like wristbands. You could cover it up. Other tattoos, like stuff like that. Like with like this whole transition stuff, you can't cover it up. Like especially if you gone to the point where like you look like a hybrid. You look messed up. You look like a hybrid. You look all like you look like a man with a woman's hair and all this stuff, or a woman with like manly like with facial hair, and like there's no way to cover it up. There's not really a way to reverse it either. So it's like I don't know, mate.
You can't. You can't.
Yeah, so that's why I was laughing because it didn't really make sense when you were saying it.
Yeah.
Like,
Which one?
okay.
Which one is more permanent? Would you say?
I mean, obviously the puberty blockers.
Right.
You can get this removed.
Right.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's,
right.
like it's not that hard.
James, I
Well,
think.
yeah, that was
you
my
guys
question.
are just sick, disgusting trash. I'm not gonna humor you.
You're humoring us right now.
Yo,
All right. Yeah, that's
Wow, that's
great.
trying to snatch the camera. Like I can bet that it's probably the same dude from the last two episodes. I can bet that.
Well, I saw you guys on YouTube before, right?
Is that the best argument that you can make? Is that the best reason you can give?
I believe in human rights. You guys are fascists.
how so?
How
Yeah.
so?
All right.
Isn't a
No,
key
he
point
doesn't.
of fascism?
How's it going? Good to meet you.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. I support what you guys are
What's
doing,
up, man?
especially on this campus. You're all great.
So
That's
this,
their- that's
so this
their
is a
thing.
thing going on in society today where more and more adults are giving children agency over all of their decisions. But it's neglecting this most fundamental truth, which is that children need parents
Yeah, that's
for a
no doubt.
reason.
Can't help.
And they
Like legitimately, they letting their kids smoke, drink, do all this stuff, like have sexual contact with other people, like all of this stuff. And now they letting like kids potentially ruin their in lives and potentially stop a whole growth of like imagine this. You are a single child. You're a single child and you do puberty blockers. Now you don't like the connection between your father's family and your mother's family, the potential connection and like the potential babies they can have, potential connection that that goes on for generations, that stops at you. Cause you can't have any children. So it stops at you. So it's like the thing that the one thing that connects your parents and the one person that connects your parents and and your parents through the family tree it's going to stop here and not grow on. The growth, the family growth, will stop there. So, like, like, cuz, makes no sense in my book.
They cannot make it because
Decision.
of the very fact that they're children.
Would you have the same like opinion about, let's say, a 15-year-old girl was like, hey, you know what? I actually want, let's say, liposuction for, maybe they're anorexic or something. You want to
What?
affirm them, you get them liposuction, or let's say you get them lip filler, or let's say you get some other body modification. Children should be able to make that decision. Is that correct?
Is
So
this like?
children are making
Is
that
this
decision?
trying to? Are you guys trying to do like law based? Like, are you trying to like
Law
make
based.
it like where the parents have the decision to allow them to?
I don't think it's that their approach, but I think, in my opinion, it should be banned like in general from people under the age of 18, and like anyone who tries to get it has to get has to show their ID, have to get their ID checked, make sure their records are on point, make sure like their school records are on point, like, oh, for example, they graduated like they were the class of 2020, was it 2023, and they graduated at such and such high school. Their ages matches, like they gotta go through all of that.
Talking about like what should be allowed
Really, I'm just
under law.
talking
But
philosophically about the whole thing.
It's a moral claim.
it's a
Yes.
moral claim. It's
Now-
And from that, the legal stuff flows.
Yeah, and ideally, I would like the medical bodies, the American Academy of Pediatrics, to conduct a systematic review, because they're not listening to their own doctors within their bodies. There's, I think, something like there's a few 100,000 pediatricians, part of the AAP, and a lot of doctors are at to do reviews bodies around the world have, and they found that there's no evidence to support this. But this whole subject of giving agency to children, we would never say a 13-year-old can consent to sex with a 40-year-old, because they just can't. They don't understand what they're signing up for.
Yeah.
But we say they can consent to changing their sex.
I understand where you're
That
coming
that's
from.
that's so
Like, if
contradictory.
you talk to most 20-year-old women and you say, hey, do you want to have kids? They go, no way.
Most.
Fast forward 10 years, they're 30 years old, and
They
the
probably
ultimatum for the
either
husband
want-
is babies or divorce, because now they want kids.
Probably it's like have a child in the next 3 years, or your marriage is not looking good. Like imagine like they've been together since like, I don't know, high school, and they like 30 and they still haven't had a child yet. It's like, oh my goodness, is my marriage not working out? like should I divorce this person because I'm not having a child with them? Like I can't get a child with them, even though we've been together since we like 15, 16 years old. Like that would be kind of like ironic, but it's like also like, damn.
Change from 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 30 drastically. You're about 20 years old.
Yeah.
Are you different than when you were 10?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
And what?
I can definitely say that for myself too. Like I'm probably dealing with like 10. From, and I'll probably be slightly different from what now.
have when you were
I'll probably be
I
different
wouldn't
at
say a whole lot.
20 than what I am now. At some point, it's like slightly different. I'm gonna be probably more knowledgeable, more mature, all that. Like 25, I'm probably gonna be more mature at like age 30 than what I am now or at age 20.
Not a whole lot. Your job has been going to school and learning your timetables. And most kids at 10 don't even know their timetables. But now we're asking them to be able to consent to lifelong medical decisions and becoming a lifelong pharmaceutical patient as well. Because what happens to these kids is they have to rely on external sources of hormones for the rest of their life. These girls are getting hysterectomies. They're getting their ovaries cut out as well. Now they can't even produce estrogen if they want to. So if they at 20,
Y'all being serious with this, right? Like, y'all just heard that, like, they have to be on it for like the rest of their lives, cuz the rest of their lives. That's 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 messed up on a whole different level. Like, oh my goodness. Like, damn. I feel bad. Like, damn.
25 years of age, at the 25, if they decided they've made a mistake, they've lost estrogen for the rest of their life. For these boys who get these surgeries done, these vaginoplasty, they have to dilate for the rest of their life. These are not the kids who are thriving. These aren't the college quarterbacks and the cheerleaders and whatever. These are kids who are struggling in life. They're kids in foster care. They're kids with autism. Their parents are 10 times as likely to have been sex offenders statistically. And now we just fast track them into this medical pathway without any FDA approval for any of it. It's just all ideological. And again, it goes back to this basic philosophy of you were born in the wrong body because you don't conform to stereotypes.
Do you learn about this in your classes?
Out of the ones I'm taking.
But there are options at the university where you'd be able to learn about things.
Do you hear about it on campus? You guys hear about it on campus in other ways to a certain extent, or no?
I think to a certain extent. I mean, not like all the time. I mean, maybe if you go like looking for it, but it's not hard to find. I mean, we go to the U of O. We're like, that's real. Like we're how do you like?
Pretty left-leaning.
Yeah, we're a pretty left university. I feel.
Hey man, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm just a big fan. So
Oh,
thank you guys for doing all that.
thank you.
Do you mind if I get a photo?
We're doing the black camera.
You want to have a conversation?
You want to have a conversation about it and explain yourself?
It's just so interesting that people will say,
Like-
"Get a life."
Get a life even though they don't got no life. They probably don't got no life. They probably didn't have a good life. If they didn't have a good childhood, they would probably be traumatized at some point. Like they probably be traumatized or they looking at Twitter too much. So they probably either have a bad life or don't have a life in general. So it's like ironic. It's ironic. Go get a life yourself. Go work some. Don't stop crying about people trying to talk about stuff that you don't necessarily agree with. Stop crying about that stuff. Stop getting annoying. Stop screaming at people that you don't know. Like you screaming at people you don't know because they having a conversation without you in it. Talk about something that you don't agree with. Like get a life yourself. Go get a life yourself. Go do something other than screaming at people for no reason. Being a Karen and stuff. Karen looking.
Losers, you, fascists. But the same people won't present their arguments.
Right. They probably don't have evidence. They don't have evidence. It's straight emotions. That's why they be acting out. When they see it, they're traumatized. They got PTSD. So they're going to act out.
It's fascinating. He's calling us fascists, but yet he's involved.
Die, you rednecks. Why don't you quit being such a waste of oxygen?
Oh, you were the same person that ran away.
Why don't you present
You want to have a conversation and present your information?
Talk. Come on. Speak your points.
I'm gonna give a platform to you Nazis. Why don't you go home?
You can't explain your position.
Nazis? What? Nazis? You don't know what that even means. You probably don't even know what that means. You just found on the internet and use it as that's a thing to call people when you don't agree with them. When you're mad. Huh?
Losers. My position is I
You're a loser. Uno reverse card. You're a loser.
care about human rights and I care about people living their lives and minding their own business and not being in my face with stupid cameras. So,
but you walked over
there. You walked over there. You walked over there, mate. You walked over there. You walked in their space. You walked in there twice. So why are you talking like they just came up to you? There's footage. The entire video. Watch the video, though. Come on, bro. There's camera footage showing you walking into the interview, talking smack, heck, yelling, acting a fool. Bro, go get a life yourself. Walk away. If it offends you, walk away. Stool on. Step. Keep stepping. Turn around and get to stepping.
We can down the volume a little bit.
Well, I don't care. I
We're
am
gonna be
trying to make a
respectful to you.
scene
If you don't care, get out.
because you guys
Can I
care
ask
about
you a couple
genociding
questions?
trans people.
Guess what? I care about protecting my children, protecting this coming up generation. This generation from stupid people like you. Yeah.
No,
What,
you're not gonna have to
genociding? What
You think it's
what
okay to
constitutes a
sterilize
genocide?
children?
What are you talking about?
None of this is actually happening. You guys are
Really?
dumb.
Really?
You're cherry
Kids,
picking.
kids aren't getting puberty blockers. What is not happening that
I'm
he's
not putting
claiming?
myself on this platform. You guys are idiot losers.
Well, you
Goodbye.
just put yourself on.
You're the one inserting yourself into the platform.
Is that
Go
the
home
best
as
argument
well.
you can marshal?
That is.
That's
it
all the
is.
evidence you got.
It's the best one.
I don't know how many people will be convinced.
He said that's not happening.
Right.
So this is the case with almost all these people. They don't believe these things are happening because they've done no research. They've only heard this surface level thing that this is about human rights and we need to let people be who they really are. They don't believe surgeries are happening on kids.
They don't believe surgeries, and
They don't believe they're getting sterilized. They don't know anything about it. They think I'm making stuff up.
So the problem with not wanting to have a conversation is you have to just guess what they think. That's the problem with not having a conversation.
What do you think when you're seeing this? We're getting some pushback, but not much.
I mean, yeah. I mean, most people are pretty open to this discussion and civil dialogue here.
That's
I mean,
good.
you're gonna have some people on a little more on the left and even on the far right.
We could tell. We can definitely tell. I'm not into like that political stuff, so I don't know which side is which. To be honest, I don't know that political stuff. I'm not into politics, so I don't know which side is left, which side is right, what they believe in, and what they don't believe in. I don't know. I don't do the research, and I ain't gonna do that research. I probably ain't even gonna care after I get done with this video. I probably ain't gonna care. Like I'm just doing it for the content, and I'm doing it for the fun laughs.
Here, but as long as you keep a pretty good civil dialogue, I mean, there's really nothing wrong with it.
So you're a political science major, and did issues of gender ever come up in your classes?
I mean, yes, less so than most people would think, especially at this kind of university. I mean, this whole idea of like gender construct and the fight over like, you know, puberty blockers, trans and LGBTQ rights within schools are relatively new.
When it comes to this debate at all, are you at all open about your opinions on this on campus? And
Yeah,
if
I'm
so,
definitely
is it
open
pretty-
about
That's
it.
good.
Yeah,
That's good that he can actually like have his opinions on camera and on campus because Portland State, you're gonna have a hard time doing that. You're gonna have to put a shiesty on or something. You're gonna have to put a shiesty on with a mask, a shiesty on with an extra mask below it, and a hoodie. And just completely change your dress with just to even express your opinions. And then have to probably change up your voice too.
See?
Yeah, I definitely believe sexual education. For example, people will say don't say gay bill, but it's really just a bill that introduced in Florida that kind of limits, you know, sexual teaching or teaching about gender.
Parental rights and education.
Yeah. Basically, I think when it comes to like introducing like gender or sexuality, that's something that should be really taught towards, you know, people going through puberty. I mean, we have sex ed in middle
True.
school, and I think that's a good time to teach it.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing like 5-year-olds or even people in kindergarten, first grade being taught this because these people
I-
don't even know what sex is. They're not
They
able
won't.
to understand sexual attraction at that
No.
time. That's way too young.
No.
I'm going to change the
Obvious.
subject if that's okay. What year are you in?
I'm in my final year.
Oh, okay. So you're a seasoned political scientist.
I would say I'm pretty good at political science myself.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
So we got experience.
So we were just called fascists,
Mhm.
and I was wondering. I want to take advantage of his expertise. What does that mean that he's a is this what
So
can you explain that?
Yeah,
using
so
your
as
expertise.
that kid was walking away, he yelled, "You guys are a fascist!" And I
Yeah.
even mentioned, I was like, clearly he does not know the definition of fascism. Fascism is silencing political opponents or silence. We're hearing what you all say. You guys can't be on campus. Get off our campus. We don't want to hear what you have to say. That's more fascist than someone saying, "Hey, I want to have open civil dialogue." This right here is a clear.
Bro, literally, those people are like trying to silence them are actually being the people that they're saying that they are. Like they're being fascist. So it's like it's ironic. You're trying to silence people, calling them fascists, when really you're the one being fascist because fascist is trying to silence people.
For example, a political right, political discussion. This is something that's protected within our Constitution and should be protected and encouraged on campuses.
So when he's screaming at us that he's a fascist and we need to get off campus, is it reasonable to say that he's the fascist or he's supporting the fascist ideology?
I mean, by definition, he was a little more fascist than you guys. Fascist ideology is trying to silence political opponents.
They're,
You do?
like they're
You do?
kids.
I do. I understand your guys' point.
They're
like,
little.
Yo,
My
there's a
11-year-old.
dog
I'm
just
not sure, maybe
chilling
she
in the
believes in Santa
background.
Claus.
He just chilling. Like he's just chilling with no owner. He just like chilling there. Like he ain't doing nothing. That dog is trained.
She's just little. She's tiny. She doesn't know any
Oh,
adult stuff.
there's the owner. He's just
And now
hiding
if
in the
someone
back.
were to indoctrinate her to think that she's a boy just because maybe she's more masculine and give her this experimental drug that would stop her body from developing, for the first time in human history, we're doing this to kids. Kids have been growing up for 200,000 years on this planet, that humans have been in existence. And whether you believe in God or evolution, this makes no sense, because if you believe in God, this ideology teaches that God made us wrong. And if you believe in evolution,
Like if you're religious or not, like if you're religious or not, this stuff, like I'm gonna say it. If you're religious, trans people, gay people, it's a disrespect. If you're not, it's still a disrespect. It's a disrespect to humankind. Like it's disrespectful to go out here and try to change your body because you act different than the stereotype. It's disrespectful for getting into homosexual relationships because you think that you are different, or you have a special attraction to someone, or you just can't get no one. You can't get no one the opposite gender, or you can't find that person. So you decide how to go with the easy route. You try to go with the easy out. Like it is in a way disrespectful to not only religion but also humankind and human nature. It's also kind of, and I'm gonna let's say, is kind of disrespectful to ancestors behind us that had to go through all the tough times like wars, natural development, eh, like revolutions, like all of that stuff. It's kind of disrespectful in my opinion.
ideology is essentially saying that a billion years of the process of natural selection has failed. And for the first time in human history, we need a pharmaceutical company to help our children be who they really are. We've been going through puberty for millennia without killing ourselves. But now a lot of these young people think that puberty is a medical condition and you can go through the wrong puberty just because your body's developing. This is cult-like thinking. And at its base, this ideology is a lie. Because there's no right way to be a boy or a girl.
It's a lie. Lie. It's all made up. This trans, all the benefits of it is made up. So why do you think of this? Why do you think it's right? Transgender people are people with mental disorders. People are delusional. People that don't have, that were either manipulated or didn't have, or were not mentally there. See? Very, very simple. And you trying to change that? You trying to let children put into the same predicament and have their lives ruined? That's what it should do to you.
But this ideology teaches that you determine what your gender is. Instead of saying, be gender nonconforming, beautiful. What's wrong with that?
You guys, I'm gonna do him a favor.
Yeah.
He's trying to get to class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for talking to us, man.
We
Thanks.
appreciate
it.
Thank you.
See, they are respectful because they're letting these people join. Like get to class. Like he gotta get to class. He gotta go whole class. Okay, hey, we're going to stop for a minute. Maybe we catch up on a later date. But we got you gotta go to class. I respect that you gotta go to class. I'll catch y'all later. Maybe we talk a little bit more next time on a different day when you got a little bit more time. I respect your opinions. I'll see you later. See, they got respect. They respect these people. They respect these people. If you respect them, respect is earned. Respect is given. How can I say it? Respect is given back when you respect people. People will respect you if you respect them. Simple.
A lot better and we give them credit for.
Okay. Well, I know you got to go to class. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk. I wish nothing but love and a long, fulfilling, happy life for you. And I thank you for taking the time to talk. We're going to be here in an hour if you want to continue it. But I think the most important thing out of all of this is that we should be able to have civil dialogue
Yes.
about this issue because
Yes.
it is a very important one. So I just really want to thank you for having it.
Like, I respect these people for knowing, like, oh, they got classes, they got stuff to do. So
Wait, before you watch this video, my name's G and I'm called The Courting. I cover.
Okay.
What do you think is driving that behavior?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Okay, I'm
Because
gonna be real with you
it's
all.
not isolated.
Yeah,
This is very
especially
common.
among this generation, we've seen an introduction. I mean, we're the first generation that's completely raised within a digital age. We
Yeah.
have a crazy influence when it comes to social media.
Yes.
And I think social media has contributed to a very strong
Yes.
mental illness incline in this nation,
Yes.
along with psychoactive drugs, which are a very,
Yes.
very dangerous thing that's being introduced to our kids. And
Yes.
so I think there's been more political divide among social media that creates an ideology where
Like-
it's one side.
Like nowadays, doing drugs at a young age is, I don't think it's like generally like accepted, but like if you know someone who has done drugs, hugs, especially like vaping and stuff at like a young age. And I'm talking about like as young as like 14, 13, 14. Then like you then like back in those days, that happening would be like the talk of the talk, would be known around like the entire school. Like it might get shut down. But now people are doing it and it's being encouraged at some points. And it's being allowed at some points. Like, come on, mate. It's just despicable. It's just despicable.
Side versus our side. So a lot of these people see the right as the wrong side,
Right.
and if you're on the right, you see the left as the wrong side. We have kind of lost this middle ground in our nation. So this divide just keeps getting wider and wider, and it also contributes to like mainstream media. I mean, we don't really have down the line mainstream media is relatively available.
Right.
We have leftist media, right?
We have
right
echo
media.
chambers.
Yeah.
Exactly, and people like to hear themselves reconfirmed, and so people don't want to hear your guys' discussions because they're like, oh, I want to be confirmed in my opinion, even if I don't have backing or a good evidence against my decision or my policy. I'm still not going to talk to you guys. I don't want to be proven wrong.
Do you think this is a left versus right issue?
That's a great question.
I think it is a human issue. I don't
Yeah.
think there should be.
I don't know like this whole like left versus right, all that stuff. I don't know that stuff because like to be honest, I don't really care about that stuff. Like I said earlier, I'm not into politics. Like I wasn't really caring about Joe Biden being Donald Trump or Donald Trump trying to come back in 2024. Like I was disappointed that Hillary didn't win in 2016, but that was because I just kind of want to see the first woman, like like back-to-back presidents are like the first in their respective categories. First black president, then first woman, but it didn't happen, and I don't really care. I'm not mad about it because it was like 2016, and I was like 9 years old when that happened, so I wasn't really crying about it. But like, like I was like, I don't really care about like politics stuff, so I don't really know which one's which. It's just information I don't really want to know, information I don't really need to know. But like, but like, but like, it's a human's problem. Like, no matter what side you on, there's definitely a problem.
Any left because I feel like all as Americans, we're all trying to do the best and live a
Yes.
pretty prosperous, life, liberty, and the
Life.
pursuit of happiness. That's what we all want, and I believe there should be no
Yeah.
left or right on that. It should just be those issues.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Do we need to call? Do I need to campus police? Do I need to call campus
Whoa.
police? Okay, thank you, buddy.
I
Get out of
believe
here.
you.
Yeah,
There
you
go.
need to get out of here.
What? Get the off campus.
When we're ready. When we're ready.
Bro, there's a part 4. There's a part 4. There's a part 4. Swear God. Swear God, it's a part 4. There's a part 4. There's a part 4. I want something at the end. Oh, bro, it's a part 4, cuz. Bro, when's that part 4 coming out? Cause I kind of low-key want to see it. Like now, I'm interested. Like I'm kind of interested. I want to see. Let's see. Put after hour. Is so he streamed a couple days ago. I kind of want. Let me see. So release episode 3. When is episode? Cause he just dropped the. I kind of want. I want to see. No, that's an interview. I think.
I reacted to a video.
Oh, that's like the interview. Like, oh my goodness. Like, and like I said, this video, the one I just reacted to, got 250K views. This one got 616. This one got 606. Crazy numbers, like different. So, yeah. Hope you guys like this video. Like it up. I kind of do want to do a part 4, or just cap it off a little bit. So yeah. Hope you guys like this video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, social media links are down in the description. Also, I did make a playlist of the last 3 episodes of this little Lock 'em Up series. That's what the titles are called, Lock 'em Up or Lock Them Up, which was part 1. Part 1 was Lock Them Up. The last 2 of them was Lock 'em Up, but it's kind of same. It's different. It's a different way to say it. But yeah. But yeah. Social media links down in the description for my Instagram, for my Twitter. Add me on Snap. Check me out on Facebook. And as always, I hope you guys like this video. Subscribe if you're new. Bro, why did I just repeat I'm tweaking right now. I've been bored all day, so I decided I'm just gonna hop on the stream. I'm just gonna hop on stream and talk. So yeah. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Bye. I'm I'm out. Well, wait. Oh, another thing. Also, check out. I'm gonna be having a new video coming out for my birthday, so check that out soon. Yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. So yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out. Bye. I'm out. Peace.